Well, good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, August the 28th, presented by Mercury. Once again, we're going to spend some time with our guys and pick their brains, figure out what's going on their bodies of water to help you catch a few more fish. We're going to talk to Tom Ott about Lake Guntersville. We connected back with Josh Herron for Logan Martin and Lay Lake, and then once again, Tracy Robinson's going to share us his information for Weiss Lake and Neely Henry. We'll be right back and hear what the guys have to say. Good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, August the 28th, presented by Mercury. We're going to head on up to the big lake, Guntersville in the sky, over there on the top of the mountain. We're going to talk to Tom Ott. Tom, tell us what's going on there at the big lake there on the Tennessee River.
Man, I tell you, Dano, it's definitely the dog days out here, but, Mother Nature's just been giving us a little bit of the heat treatment here lately, but I think that's going to be settling down here, especially this weekend. We're going to see some cooler temperatures, I think. But I tell you, the most consistent bite out there right now has been that flipping bite. I think that seems to be, a good way to catch a nice limit of big fish if you can find a concentration of them. But for me, I'm still finding fish out on the deeper stuff, and we're talking, anywhere between 15 to 25 foot. Still working those jigs and deep diving crankbaits right now really seem to be the pattern that I enjoy more than anything than getting eat up by the millful gnats. But, and I will say this, there's been a very strong afternoon topwater bite. Spooks, any kind of your walking baits, but telling you it's been very, very strong this past week.
When you say afternoon bite, are you meaning in the evening time? Is that what you're looking at, or is it just?
Absolutely. Yeah. Between 4 and dark, that's when you really are seeing most of your schooling action right now.
So when you're talking ledge bite, is that a current related thing? And then you're finding smaller schools of fish? Is that what kind of separates everything, is to find the small schools that might be there and going after them when there's current?
Absolutely. Last week we had, there were some big rains up north. We got a lot of current moving through. Yeah. At least it was consistent. I wouldn't say it was a lot, but it was a consistent flow. And that just really, that always positions the bait fish a little bit better. But the schools are definitely smaller groups. And it seems like, plucking one or two out of a group, I feel pretty good about that, but you're going to have to hit, 10, 15 groups of fish to find a decent bag right now.
Well, that, and I know that you can go look for schooling striper around those bait pods that are showing up on the surface, the small bait, and you probably be able to catch a few catfish on some of your favorite catfish holes, as well as crappie still. They may not be the best eating, but you can find some of those around the bridge pilings and some of the causeways. Vertical with probably bait right now, and I'm sure you're seeing boats all over the place doing that. Well, Tom, thanks for everything. As always, have fun this weekend. We hope you win another one, you and St. Jennifer, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, thanks, Dano. Tie lines. Keep it safe out there.
You too. Good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, August the 28th, presented by Mercury. Hey, it's time for us to connect with our pro staffer and friend, Tracy Robinson, as he's going to tell us everything we need to know about Weiss Lake and Neely Henry. Tracy, what's going on our two favorite lakes?
Both lakes are actually fishing pretty good this week. I don't know if it was the abundance of rain or probably a mixture of that and all the current we had as a result of the rain, but they're biting pretty good on both lakes. Weiss Lake, a lot of bites up shallow in the grass this past week, throwing the popping frog type baits in the grass, also swimming a jig, which is usually a springtime pattern, but actually caught some fish up there swimming a jig. It's nothing, like a 20 or 30 bite day, but 10 to 15 bites a day up shallow in the grass has been catching some pretty good largemouths. You can still get out there and catch some of the fish out there deeper, a few largemouths, but it's majority spotted bass, Carolina rigs, 6XD type crankbaits. Tournament last weekend, right at 20 pounds won, and I'm 99.100% confident that they were all caught shallow. So anyway, good bite at Weiss shallow.
I know that you've said that the current has kind of been key because of the rain. What areas of the lake do they want to hit when they're going up to Weiss Lake?
Weiss Lake, the water didn't really discolor that bad from the rain. You could, coming out of the Chattooga, got a little dirty, but any of your main lake points, the Bay Springs area, Powerhouse didn't get too dirty either. So It's kind of open to about anywhere you want to go, other than just that main river from about the Cedar Bluff Causeway up. It got a little muddy, but it cleared up pretty quick.
Okay, so let's turn our attention to Neely Henry. I know that current comes through the Weiss Lake dams and it comes down. What's going on Neely Henry right now? What should they look for?
The largemouth bite has just eluded me this past week. I didn't do any good at all. Yesterday, I mentioned to you yesterday, catching on a lot of spots, but there's not a lot of rhyme or reason where they are. I was using a 3.5, 4-inch Kitech, just targeting fish that were actively feeding on shad. From one end to the other, it's just solid shad. You'll see them on top anywhere you're at on Neely right now. And that's good and that's bad. Good food population, but just finding out where they're eating them at, that's been the trick. So for me, it didn't even matter, what area. You just had to kind of keep moving until you found somewhere where you were seeing some blow-ups or some activity that looked like, that they were feeding on. And then I'd stop and I'd fire the little small swim bait in there and I could get bit. It's just you have to keep moving. You can't really recreate the location day to day. It's just you've got to keep moving and find them.
So that's what it sounds like, folks. Target some stuff shallow, maybe throw a frog, maybe flip a little bit, wait for the fish to blow up in your area, and then respond with a topwater bait, swim bait, something like that. Well, Tracy, thanks for everything, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, August the 28th, presented by Mercury. It's time for us to head on down and see our good friend Josh Herron, who's going to tell us everything he knows about Logan Martin and Lay Lake, and I mean everything. Josh, what's going on down there at Logan Martin?
Oh man, it's that time of the year where you just embrace the grind, dude. I mean, it's I don't know what else to say. It's gonna be a 14, 15 pound kind of good day. There's still some fish to be caught. Just fishing's late summer, sucky Alabama. So cool thing about this time of year you get is I think the thermocline gets so jacked up and so stable or so solid that you get a lot of fish that'll push really, really shallow this time of year, even with the water as hot as it is, which is kind of cool because it gives you like a chance to catch some, like for Lay, for example, popping frogfish get really kind of cool this time of year. You don't catch that many of them, but you can catch some pretty good ones doing it. And at Logan, you can catch them flipping some really, really shallow docks, which is something different that you wouldn't necessarily think with 90-degree surface temp.
Yeah, I've noticed that when you come down into the south, having come from the west where fish go really deep in the summertime because they get down in that cooler water, that doesn't work here. And I've noticed that a lot of times that shallow water bite, and then you start seeing those minnows, the shad that spawned earlier this year, they start up cruising, and you might even be able to catch a few swimming a little small swim bait through there, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You'll start getting schoolers this time of year, which is kind of odd. It's going to be an early morning, late afternoon thing, but you'll get clusters of those going. But, man, I think it's just fish pushing really high in the water column, chasing oxygen, to be honest with you.
So find a place that they intersect with maybe a little bit of a current break and some bait fish in the area, and they're up shallow, and you might find yourself something that you can catch them on, right?
Yeah, man. Like we've been getting, every time we get a little rain, you'll notice it feels like somebody turns the air conditioner on for 20 or 30 minutes afterwards.
Yes.
And that's just, especially towards the backs of these creeks, that's just an influx of cooler water. So, and I think that's kind of what these fish are keying around. I know it's what the bait fish are keying around. So, yeah, I mean, just anywhere you get these little kind of halfway clean run-ins, and anywhere that, I mean, current's still king. But, yeah, I mean, that's kind of your two things you're chasing right now is cooler water. These natural creeks this time of year, they generally run 7, 8, 9, 10 degrees cooler than your main river. So, that, I mean, if I was going to send anybody in the direction this weekend, it would be natural creeks or current breaks, one of the two.
Well, man, thanks for everything. We appreciate it, and we will talk to you again soon. Well, that'll wrap up our Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, August the 28th, presented by Mercury. Thanks to the guys for everything they have to say and all the stuff that they share with us. It helps us put a few more fish on our carpets. But don't forget, come on by to Bucks Island. If you need any information, you need some parts, you need the tackle, we're here. Don't forget to like and subscribe to everything that we do on social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. And we will talk to you again next week. Thanks for spending the time with us.